right, and welcome to InRhythm with me, your host, Colton G. And today we are joined by a hip-hop rap artist who was born in the Sudan, bred in Edmonton, and destined for stages around the world. His music has been placed in Foot Locker ads, played at Toronto Raptor games, and now he is about to release his debut album, In Search of Gold. My guest today is Mouraine. How's it going today, Mouraine?
Hey, not much. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. Having myself a beautiful day. It was raining to start the morning, but the sunshine is just peering through my window, so it's a beautiful day for me. How are you?
Absolutely, I can agree. I feel the feelings are mutual on this side too. You know what I mean? It's starting to get a little warm outside. You know,
Hey, spring
being
is
out in
sprung.
Alberta, we don't get.
Yeah, it's once winter finally breaks, it's just a cause for celebration, right?
Exactly. Yeah, just the mood changes.
Picks up the spirits immediately. Seasonal
Yeah,
depression, get the heck out the door.
out. Yeah, no longer in style.
Hey, no longer in style. But what is in style, like I said, is you got a debut album dropping on May 5th, my friend. And of course, that's where I want to start things off. The album is entitled
Absolutely.
In Search of Gold. And that's what really where I want
Yeah.
to kick things off is exactly what is the gold that we're searching for here? What is this journey?
Yeah, I get you. I figured that's gonna be a lot of questions around that, but um, honestly, In Search of Gold to me is more of it's not necessarily searching for gold, which is like just the gold, the material, gold, the element, but it's more about being in your element, and searching for that gold is more about finding self and joy and something that makes you happy or your purpose. It's not necessarily always about like the riches or, it's not, I just wanted to use that as a metaphor in terms of like searching for my purpose. And I feel like as time went on and my vision started to get more clearer and what I wanted to do with my life, I figured that, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to live my life. This is what gold is to me. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's not the element, but it's to be in your element. You know what I mean?
Hey, I like that
Yeah.
how you say that. And of course, like you say, it's sometimes the prospect of gold is like it's something that people consider valuable. And sometimes, we put our value in all of these different things, whether it be possessions or otherwise, when, gold could be, like you say, like your purpose. What is the vision, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's majority of the time we see it as an exterior thing, but it could also be like internally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Growth goes all ways.
Always.
Hey, absolutely.
Yeah. Gold.
So when you found what that vision was that you were trying to capture behind this album, when exactly did you go about putting it together, and how did you go about capturing it with your producers?
Yeah. I think I wasn't necessarily looking to do an album right away or any of that, but it was connecting with so the whole album was produced by producer duo. They're called Deadman out of Winnipeg, and yeah, I just like label mates and stuff. So they sent me a beat over COVID, and it was to my actual song Gold, and I was like, oh, this is fire, and I remember sending them back a song with like a verse and a hook on it within like 20 minutes, half an hour, or within the hour. So I really liked it, and I something came out. So I was like, oh, this is crazy that I was able to like put this together and it sounds so fire so quick. And yeah, it was just when it was time to kind of lock in and do an album. It only made sense to like kind of like rock with them because the chemistry was there, the sound, the quality, and yeah, that's that's pretty much how it came about. And we locked in the studio for about 2 weeks and started everything from scratch. We decided that that was the best way to do it is to just lock ourselves in and like kind of like boot camp style and like, yo, let's get this album done
Focus and
under
go.
pressure. Exactly, exactly. And that's how the album kind of came about. But I wasn't necessarily searching for a specific, like I didn't go in and like I'm like, yo, I need to make an album exactly about this. It was more it was more so me going into the studio and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go in and how I feel at the moment, I'm gonna let it out in the studio and we're gonna capture that vibe instead of like premeditating it. You know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of times you premeditate things and they don't always turn out how you want them to be. So I was like, let's go with the flow, let's rock, and let's see how it's gonna turn out. And yeah, it everything was very like well put together in the end, and everything came together. So yeah.
It's like I like how you say that, where it's sometimes you have to go with the flow because you can try and force something over and over and over again, but if you force it, it's gonna come out wrong.
Correct. Absolutely. Or there's no real, it's going to become out forced. And we all know, you know, we've done things in life that we feel like we tried to force and in the end you're like, oh, it just wasn't worth it, you know?
Why
And I
did I
wanted to make this
compromise?
album worth it. Exactly. Exactly. And I don't mean like it's good to plan things, obviously, and, you know, and move correctly and stuff. But I think when it comes to creativity, sometimes it's just best to let it flow.
Hey, art's got to come from the heart, right?
Correct.
Hey, and I wanna talk about a little bit of the art that is contained inside of the album, some of the tracks that we find here, and I find one track that I thought was very compelling that really I thought told a story of who like what shaped part of who Mouraine is the track Tonight.
Yeah.
Um, definitely, I'll let you take it. What does the track Tonight mean to you, my friend?
Um, I think for me tonight was more about like being in a situation where you kind of always have to kind of like prove yourself in a way and being put like taken out of like one lifestyle and um like for example like when I speak about like say like my in the second verse where I speak about like my immigration story or whatnot, it's you know just being able to like taken from one world and put in another world and having to adjust and having to like make a new life and new friends and learn a new language, you know? So I think tonight was more of like a testimony of also just being grateful for certain things in life and also at the same time not taking it for granted to be in like specific positions that I'm in today. You know what I mean? Because I always like I'm like, oh, I want to do this. I want to do music. I want to, you know. And then when I find myself in that space, you know what I mean. A lot of people, or not a lot of people, but you can get short sighted and not realize that how far you've come or the blessings that kind of like you know the blessings you're given, you know, and I didn't want to be able to like take that for granted. And it's just a reminder, a humbling reminder, like, yo, listen, like you said you were gonna do this, now you're doing it and you're here and there's still steps to go. But you know, yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Is it's sometimes we can get caught up inside of the process
yeah,
and not like realize, as you mentioned, it's you're doing the thing that you dreamed about doing, but when you get into it, it's like you can overthink it, you can get inside your head. I know a lot of creators get like imposter syndrome and like have to deal with
exactly.
that. Yeah, it's you don't realize like how blessed you are and that like sometimes like somebody somewhere else in the world would literally give everything to trade position with where you are, right?
Yeah, and that's just not musically, but that's also like coming in from like a third world country. And now I'm here and I have the opportunity to be able to like live out my dreams where someone else doesn't. So it's like, but then I can sit here and complain about it, right? And like, oh man, it's not working out for me. Oh, I'm not doing this. Oh, I'm not on the billboards yet. What's going on? Or I can like humble myself and be grateful that I even have the opportunity to pursue these kind of to even pursue my dreams or just do whatever I wanted to do in life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah.
It's not everybody gets the opportunity to chase their dreams all over the world. And it's definitely a
No,
blessing to even be able to take this opportunity to chat about said dream chasing, because it's like even a moment like this is a blessing.
100%, 100%,
Hey.
100%. Couldn't agree more, man.
I'm glad that you agree, and yes, definitely was probably a lot to adjust to, between making friends and, like we mentioned earlier, winter itself, definitely probably something that really needed to be adjusted to.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's pretty. I did come pretty young, but it's definitely not it's not an easy thing to adjust no matter what, you know what I mean? Because it's like you leave certain things that you get attached to behind or like family and but yeah, you're right. Winter is probably not the easiest thing. Till this day, I don't think I've adjusted.
Mm-hmm. And
I've been here almost
language.
language, definitely.
Yes,
Yeah,
language also as well, because you mentioned you came here at 10, and when I was going through the notes, it said that you started writing and recording music at 11. So, like, you picked up the
yeah.
language pretty quick.
I did, and it was one of those things where I kind of like wanted to. I took music because I love music so much and rap, especially like listening to hip hop music. I'm like, oh, yo, I can put in the poetry aspect of it. I started to like do it myself, and I'm like, yo, okay, yo, I like this. I want to do this, And then I started writing, which kind of helped me with my language skills and my reading and writing, and yeah, and obviously speech. But yeah, that's literally how I learned or improved my language skills is just through music.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's incredible. See how
yeah,
far, like, just this thing that you loved has brought in you.
absolutely.
Hmm.
Can't take it.
Absolutely.
Can't take it for granted.
Hey, can't take it for granted. It might just be your destiny, which is another track that I want to talk about off of the album. It's definitely, I think, probably one of my favorite songs off of this collection here. And I just really enjoy like the energy you were trying to capture. And like my favorite lyric, I think, is probably "Life is easy if you quit the race and keep
Yeah,
your pace of your own." Where it's
yeah,
once again, you can get so caught up in like, what is everybody else doing?
correct. No, yeah, definitely. Destiny is a song where I'm like, again, it kind of falls into like falls cohesive with tonight as well, and goal and the concept of in searching for that gold. And yeah, a lot of the times, we find ourselves always rushing and trying to like find we're always in a constant chase with life, especially in like this day and age where things are so fast paced. And yeah, like you said in this way, like definitely the lyrics where it's like, life is easy if you could the race and keep a pace of your own. So it's like, don't worry about the other things and all the distractions and what's going on and like the world, the news, the television, the whatever, you know what I mean? And it's like it's good to like use these things for your entertainment, but don't just get too caught up in distractions. And it's more just relax, focus on your own thing and on your own destiny and in your own path. And it's okay that you're not where you see yourself in life, but it's like that's part of your destiny is you that like you'll get there or if you're meant to get there and don't stress about it too much. You know what I mean? Because we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, especially social pressure. You know, having like reaching a certain age and your friends are doing a certain thing, and the idea of comparisons and all of that. So
Mhm.
yeah, I
You
think
see
the
all your
song is
friends
just a
buying a house.
reminder. Yeah, when you see all your friends buying a house and you're like, yo, what am I doing with my life? I'm trying to rap and make music, or still, like definitely it's one of those things, where like you see your friends having kids and getting married or what they getting promotions in their jobs, and it's okay not to compare yourselves is what I'm trying to like remind people with this song, you know what I mean? And also a reminder to myself.
Well, a reminder to yourself, and it also speaks to you have to define what success means to yourself, right? Because like what success is for somebody else isn't necessarily what success has to be for you.
No, success, it comes in all different types of shapes and forms and formulas and all of that, you know. There's no right way to success, you know. And again, I think once you kind of like put in that effort to like search for that gold from within you, you're definitely gonna find your success, you know what I mean? And you don't need to worry about what people shape the idea of success is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's don't get caught up in it. Just enjoy the journey. Life is beautiful and life is short. So
Absolutely.
hmm
I think that's the thing. It's like people realize how short life is, they'll take a step back and,
hmm No, I
yeah.
mean, me myself, I just had a heart infection at 32 and like that really
Oh
put things
man.
in
Sorry to
perspective,
hear that,
man.
brother. Yeah.
Hey, it's
Yeah,
I'm just
man.
happy that I'm healthy enough to be able to get back to chasing my own dreams, right? Like,
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
hey, it's a
Well,
blessing.
I'm glad you're feeling better and like, and you can still do that and chase your dreams, man. 100%.
Hey, absolutely. But it's just it is that sometimes you can't just take those things for granted. It's like you say, you get so caught up in the media, the rat race. What is everybody else doing like that your own time is just slipping away.
And no, 100%. I couldn't agree more.
Hey, and I know that you are somebody who likes to make the most of his time, so you are constantly staying busy, staying on that grind, and I know like not only is this album releasing the week that we're talking right now, but you're also like going to the UK this week. You're going to be playing some
Yes.
shows, like I believe maybe a couple like festival style things. Like what's going on in the docket for the UK? What's the excitement
Yeah.
level like?
Um, well, I think we leave tomorrow, so um, it's more of a hassle in getting things together right now. We're wrapping things up, doing the podcast, the interviews, whatever we have to do before the time difference changes. You know what I mean? So we're in that race right now. But yeah, no, I'm definitely it's exciting because this is the first time I get to go with a, the album coming out, which I'll have a product and be like, yo, my album's out now, and this is what I want to do. And we're attending the Focus Wales, starting off by that, and then we're heading over to London and doing some showcases there, and then we're heading to the Great Escape, which is both festivals. Focus Wales and the Great Escape are very big music conferences slash festivals, and an amazing entry point into Europe. And it's definitely a place where I can like reach bigger audiences and people that we can um, continue to tour and people that we can like maybe export our music to and yeah and take it out there and just reach new markets. But yeah, I'm definitely excited just to play some shows, beginning of summer kind of, and what the weather is getting nice, people are going to be, and I'm just excited to present the new music. That's what I'm really excited about, is actually getting a chance to perform the new music from the album in front of people. I think that's the most exciting part of it for me.
You've probably only played a couple of tracks so far out there, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we'll just tease every once in a while. I'll, test a new song out. Like, oh, how would this sound live? Okay, this is what we got to change. This is what we got to take out, put in. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Hey, trial
definitely
and
played
error.
like, or songs that came out with like as singles already, like Tonight or Big Dog or Gold. So
Heck
yeah,
yeah. Heck yeah. Get
yeah.
out there. Continuing to spread the word of Mouraine. Continuing to search for that gold. I hope that the UK shows go well, and I'm sure there will be still a couple of them left to hit up once this interview drops. So if you're in the UK, maybe go ahead and check out Mouraine live if you have that opportunity.
Absolutely, come through.
Hey. And I know not only are you somebody who's trying to get out there, hit the road, play those shows, but I know that you're also somebody who curates your own events sort of inside your own community out there in Alberta. So when you yourself are trying to put together an event, what is like the goal? What energy are you trying to capture inside of that event, and what are some of the challenges that you have to overcome in doing that?
um, oof, wasn't expecting that question, but I think yeah, it's I do throw my own shows, yes, and curate shows and put. I try to put do that kind of stuff just to be able to kind of give back to the community or to artists within the music community out here in Alberta or Edmonton, especially because I faced a lot of challenges trying to get on. You know, being in Edmonton, a lot of the times it was hard to get on like bigger shows or shows that were kind of like of quality. So you have to like either like be in like say like the dingy basements and just do shows there, like the hip hop night, if it existed, you know what I mean? Because we're a very big importers and exporters of country music out here, you know what I mean, in Alberta, right? So being a hip hop artist, there wasn't always opportunities. And even if there was, it wasn't enough. And now that the scene is growing, there's more artists, there's that bring quality. I wanted to be able to kind of like make it easier for artists to be able to touch stage and go on stage and perform in front of people. And yeah, just so they can have that experience and expertise without kind of like so they can avoid the hurdles that I went through. You know what I mean? If I can, and it's for me, it's putting a show together. It's like it used to be very hard, but now it's as simple as reaching out to venues that are familiar with who I am, and they'll make it work for us. So it's kind of pretty cool to be able to do that. You know?
Continue to help out, mentor other artists.
Um, I don't exactly. I think in a way it is mentoring other artists, but it's indirectly. So but I do, but it also helps the scene grow. And I do want to like, obviously, when the time is right, and I want to take artists under my wing and like maybe even, you know, and actually like be hands on. But it's always hard to be hands on when you're also focused on your own career and you're still not there where you want to be in life too. You know what I mean? But so this is the best way that I could give back right now, without, you know, like focusing on one person only or instead of leaving or a couple people, but it's now I can like bring a bunch of people in and like, yo, okay, yo, perform on stage, here's how you perform, um here's how you set up a show, here's what's expected, and I'll have the patience because I know they know, you know what I mean? So it's like, here's how you should, yo, send me your bio, you know, like some of them won't have a bio. So they're like, what are you talking about? Well, I'll be like, well, here's an example of a bio. Go and write it up or have a friend write it up or, you know, I need some press photos. That way artists are like, oh, okay, now when they're sending out or pitching for their own shows, now they can be like, oh, I'd like to get on the show. Here's my bio. Here's my press photos. Here's my links to my music. At least they know how to present that, you know? So,
Mm-hmm. It's
yeah.
crazy how few, like, how many artists don't know what an electronic press kit actually is.
No, it's definitely a lot of artists don't know. And that's, I think our downfall as artists and as creatives is we don't really focus on it's hard for us to focus on the business side of things, you know, and it's but in this day and age it's being an artist isn't all, you know, it just won't cut it, it just and that sucks, you know what I mean? And
It
but
does,
it is
but
what it is, you know.
it's part of the monster that is music, right?
Correct, exactly. So then you have to know everything, you have to be your own business before you can get a manager, you have to be your own manager. Before you get your own booking agent, you have to be that. Before you find your own engineer and producers and whatever, you just have to be that, you know? Yeah.
Grow and then build the team, but for the time being, you just have to. Sometimes the grind is tough, but it's a part of the journey.
It's a part of the journey, exactly. But it's worth it and it teaches you how to be a better artist. You know what I mean? In the end of the day, and it's like you can't be the coach without being the player. You know?
Absolutely. You have to understand how
Yeah,
the game works in order to be able to draw up the plays.
exactly.
Yeah, and of course we've been talking a lot about this new album, In Search of Gold, a few of the things you have going on. I would like to know now, what are some of the other goals you have for 2023?
Oh, a lot. We have a lot of goals, but I think one of my top things is to hit the road and get in front of people and just perform the album and have it reach as many people as possible. Yeah, that's definitely
Absolutely.
my main thing right now.
Hey, spread the good word.
Basically, yeah, spread the good word. Reach the people, man.
Hey, reach the people. Give them a little bit of gold in their life.
Exactly. Yeah, be like Oprah
Awesome.
Winfrey. You get a gold, you get gold, you get gold. Everybody gets gold.
Everybody look underneath your chair. It's gold.
Yeah, basically. I wish.
I wish too. I wish too.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna fire a couple of random questions at you here, if that's cool with you.
All right.
All right. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Nothing too out of the ordinary. We're just gonna go with what is Mouraine's favorite thing about spring?
The sun.
Yes, sun is a wonderful thing.
The sun.
What is the last concert that you attended?
Ooh. Sunreal. I went to a Sunreal concert uh not too long ago, like few weeks ago.
With Preston Pablo.
With Preston Pablo and Soul, yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
missed that one. I was really sad about that.
No, it was a really dope concert, you know.
Heck
And
yeah.
I'm a fan of Sunreal since he was like doing it for, and hitting up like small shows, and I always used to hit it up. So it was kind of dope to see an artist come up, and these kind of artists motivate you when you see their growth, when you're like, oh, yo, I seen the whole journey. I could definitely do this,
Absolutely.
with the hard work put in.
It's tough when you're looking at it yourself, but when you've seen somebody else like do it, it's like, oh, this is possible.
It's very possible, yes.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
What is your favorite snack?
Oh, ah, ooh, sweet or savory?
Whichever one you want to go with.
um, what is my favorite snack? Oh, what dried mangoes?
Ooh.
Sorry, I don't know why
Heck
that
yeah.
was I thought about that. Yeah, because I don't think of it as a snack. I think of it as life. Dried
It's
mangoes.
that good. It's life.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a part of me now. I don't even think of it as a snack. It's a meal.
All right. What was your first car?
Acura Integra, 1993.
Respect.
Yeah, yeah. It was nice, but the problems it had was too much.
Teach you a lot of life lessons.
Yeah.
All right. What is your go-to board game?
Ooh. Wow. Chess.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, my man likes to plan his moves.
100%.
Awesome. And of course, I've got one last question for you here, Mouraine, and that is this. Through the process of crafting this album, how did that help you grow as a person?
Wow. I think as this being my debut album and my first ever album to kind of put together so cohesively, um, it helped develop a lot of things in terms of being able to step out of my shell a little bit. And I also had a team of producers, and my brother Moto was helping me with the co-writing and stuff and just being in the studio. So also it helped me be able to put my trust in other people when it came to my craft and the things that I loved. So and I kind of learned to like take a step back when it came to certain things, and also accept people's opinions a little bit more. And it wasn't no longer about just me, and it was more about the vision. Uh, I learned to put my ego aside and put everything aside and kind of just trust the process. So yeah, it's just to be able to put my ego aside and trust people to help me out when it came to certain things.
It's songs can they're sort of like your children. You can be a little overprotective
Oh,
sometimes.
I'm like, yo, no, what you changed? What in this beat?
That was my chorus. What are you doing?
Yeah, yeah. What do you mean change this lyric?
Hey, but it's sometimes we just have to let that ego go, and like you said earlier, go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
Hey,
It
hey.
leads to your destiny.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Mouraine, I have had a fantastic time chatting
Same
in
here.
search of gold with you here today. I wish you nothing but the best with this album release, with your travels to the UK, and hopefully hitting the road for the rest of 2023. Maybe I can find myself in a Mouraine crowd, singing along.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wherever, I don't know where you're located, but yeah, definitely hit us up, and we'll make sure. Yeah, you get to see
We'll
me
make it
live, and we
happen.
can meet in person too. Yeah, absolutely. I'd
We'll
love
make
that.
it happen. Absolutely. And anybody
Uh,
listening to this right now, definitely go ahead and check out Mouraine's website, his social media. Go ahead and give him a follow. I'll put some links in the description to today's show, so you can go ahead and do exactly that. You can stay up to date with Mouraine. We'll find out when he's coming to your town, all of that good stuff. My friend,
sure.
I want to thank you one last time for joining us here today on InRhythm.
Absolutely, and I really appreciate your time, and thank you for having me and helping me spread the word.
Thank you for checking out today's interview here on InRhythm with me, your host, Colton G. You can find links to support today's guest in the description to this episode. You can also find some links to go ahead and follow InRhythm as well as myself on your favorite social media platforms. I hope to hear from you. Please go ahead and subscribe to InRhythm. That would make me oh so happy. And what else would make me happy is if you have yourself a beautiful day. I hope that you enjoyed what you heard here. And until next time, my friends, stay beautiful. Yeah.